Come with me on the King's Business School Common Purpose Global Leadership Experience in Edinburgh. I began my journey with a quick tube ride on the Piccadilly line to King's Cross Station, where I met some of my friends. Once everyone was gathered, we made our way to board our train. After almost 5 hours, we arrived at the Edinburgh Waverley station and walked to the hotel. Excited, like Natasha was, for the next day. Day 1 kicked off with a sunny 10-minute walk through the meadows to Summer Hall, where we registered ourselves and were greeted by our cheerful facilitators, Sarah and Jono. We got to know each other better through some icebreaker activities, and afterwards was reminded of the 4-day challenge of learning about and ideating solutions to Sustainable Development Goal 8. After helping ourselves to a selection of sandwiches and some good company, cafe conversations began, where we spoke to industry professionals to understand how their work promotes sustainable economic growth, inclusivity, and decent employment. I loved how passionate they were. We were then sorted into our working groups, the team we would be working with on tackling the challenge. After rounds of riddles and problem solving, my team came out on top, winning us a box of chocolates, and that was day 1. I spent my evening visiting Edinburgh Castle with this lovely bunch and taking in the views. We also visited the Royal Mile, and since it was Ramadan, I broke my fast over dinner with friends. Welcome to day 2. We headed to Summer Hall again, ecstatic for what today had in store for us. We began with some discussions about what we had noticed about Edinburgh City so far from our adventures the previous evening. Then, we were sorted into teams for our visits to various organisations as part of a unique learning experience, where we would be able to clarify some questions about Edinburgh and where it was at in terms of meeting SDG 8. Honestly, my team and I weren't expecting to be dropped off by a stadium. We had the chance to visit Big Hearts Community Trust at Tynecastle Park Stadium. We were warmly welcomed by General Manager Craig Wilson, who showed us how Big Hearts uses the football community as a way to unite and connect people to make a positive impact. Craig also kindly offered to take us to the heart of the stadium. Upon returning to Summer Hall, we brought what we had learned together in our working groups before ending for the day. My evening was spent gazing at the breathtaking views of the National Monument, Arthur's Seat, and the city from Calton Hill. Up bright and early for day 3. Today I visited the Granton Youth Centre, where Mary gave us an overview of how the Youth Centre benefits the local community. We had the opportunity to ask questions about some of the challenges local charity organisations faced. Finally, we returned and it was time to get straight into sharing our insights and coming up with initial ideas for our solution. My team and I started to narrow down the common themes and areas of concern we had each picked up from our visits. On day 4, we were all packed up and we walked to Summer Hall with our bags, both nervous and excited to round off our ideas. We started our final day coming up with and pitching some hilarious so-called unpitchable ideas, from transparent pants to a watch with no hands. This got us thinking about how we would pitch our ideas to the panel later in the day. Then, it was time to get working. Although my team struggled to agree on an idea initially, through brainstorming we found our golden idea. We delegated tasks on clarifying what the solution was, how it would be implemented, and why. Then, we rehearsed our 4-minute pitch. The moment we were all waiting for arrived. We had the pleasure of hearing other teams' adaptive and innovative solutions, as well as receiving positive and constructive feedback from an esteemed panel. I think I speak for everybody when I say we were proud of what we were able to achieve in the mere 4 days. I learned a lot about what it takes to lead, about conflict management, and about real issues facing our world. After saying our goodbyes, we left Edinburgh with lots of good memories, new friends, and invaluable experiences. Thank you to King's Business School and Common Purpose for this amazing experience.